This is Will.
This is Alex.
Welcome back to another episode of They Mostly Come Out of Me.
Welcome, everyone. We're back. Sorry it's on a Tuesday again, but you still get your weekly episode.
You still get your weekly content.
So
you can't complain too much.
Here we are, and I'm dead inside. You
need a nurse?
A death nurse.
Wow.
But not just any death nurse. I need Death Nurse 2. Before we get into anything, please go like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff for us so we can keep making the content for you. Really appreciate it. Really helps out the podcast. We're loving all the YouTube comments, so keep those coming, please.
Yeah. If you got requests,
we do one every 5 episodes, so get those in.
Just requested I didn't have it originally on there, but I knew eventually one day down the road someone would request it.
Yeah.
Somebody requested Chopping Mall. So
okay,
that's been added.
I've seen Chopping Mall.
I've also seen Chopping Mall.
And
I had a feeling eventually one day someone would request it.
You know what? I think Chopping Mall needs to be on the podcast,
Yeah.
so I'm glad someone requested it.
So we'll get
to it.
It's been added.
Yep. We have an ever-growing list, so keep those coming, and we will get to them eventually. Every 5 episodes. But yeah, help us out, and we'll help you out with more content.
Once upon a time, Will, it was every 10.
That's true. We
only
every
had
5.
2 requests
ever. Now we have a lot of requests.
So now we whittled it down to every 5.
We've had to up the ante
because otherwise it would be a little unfair.
I don't think there'll ever be a point where we get it to one every other episode or anything like that.
No, unless it's just
unless we're just inundated with fucking requests. But
we'll do a month of just requests.
You see how we're stretching out the top of the show here? That's because there's nothing to fucking talk about with this goddamn movie.
This is garbage. There's trash,
literally
filth, garbage.
There's
bullshit.
maybe 20 minutes of anything original.
So
and I wouldn't even call it original. That's a stretch even of itself.
So, Death Nurse 1, right, was about 55 minutes long. Half of it was flashbacks to a movie called
Criminally Insane
made by the same director.
Fucking Big Fat Ethel.
Crazy Fat Ethel.
Sorry.
Big Fat Ethel.
Big Fat. Big Ethel.
Big Chonky Ethel.
Big Chonker Ethel.
And... so that movie had about 25 minutes of content, and then Death Nurse 2 is a 59-minute movie where half of it is flashbacks.
What's funny is half of it's flashbacks to Criminally Insane, and then there's even some flashbacks to the first Death Nurse.
There is one scene that is a flashback to the first Death Nurse.
I'm not even joking when I say that he probably had 20 minutes of something.
Same actors. Even the actors that died in Death Nurse 1 are back in this as other characters. It's the same exact house. Everything's the same.
And it's pretty much... No, not even pretty much. It is the exact same plot.
It's the same movie, except... I think there was some stuff in the first one about organs, but they don't even bother with that.
Did you notice that it was the same victims too, technically?
Yes.
Because it's the same actors?
Yes.
It's the exact same actors.
Yep, they killed them.
The first one. Just in different sequential order.
She bills the county for something.
We have a new person that brings all the fucking people there to get
a new social worker.
Yeah, a new social worker to bring the people there to get murdered right away.
And yeah, it
is patient comes in to this clearly house that they're trying to play off as a fucking a nursing facility.
Bold.
That is bold because it's a fucking house.
It's just a house.
Patient comes in, annoys Ethel. Oh, sorry, my bad. It's fucking what's her fucking name?
Edith.
Annoys Edith. Edith kills them. She puts them in the basement for the rats to eat. That's it. Rinse and repeat for ad nauseum for 50 minutes.
Because Death Nurse 1 ended with a cop who shows up, smells the corpses in the basement, knocks on the door, and they sit on the couch looking depressed. In this movie, they do a twisteroonie. So in this movie, he knocks on the door, she opens it, and stabs him to death.
Spoilers! Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's how the movie starts. My bad.
That's the beginning.
Sorry.
By the way,
because everything else happens in the exact same order.
By the way, if you really deeply care enough, this movie is on YouTube, so just look up Death Nurse.
It's free on YouTube. Yeah, there's also a supercut, which is hilarious because it's exactly the same amount of time.
It combines both movies into one movie,
and
it removes all the flashbacks,
and it's 55 minutes long.
The two movies combined with no flashbacks equal one Death Nurse movie.
Isn't that just it's poetry?
Blow me.
It's poetry. It writes itself.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
it rhymes.
Yeah, Death Nurse is poetry. It's like you watch Death Nurse 1, Death Nurse 2. It rhymes.
It rhymes. It's like it's the same fucking movie.
Same actors too.
Yeah. So it shows the detective. She stabs the detective from the first one, and then he has a flashback to him finding the bodies
after he's dead.
There's
a flashback of the first movie where he finds the bodies and knocks on the door.
So, and then she drags his body in, and the guy helps her, and they put him in the basement, and then they get a call. No, sorry. And then we get a homeless woman digging through trash cans for 5 minutes straight.
At least 3 separate trash cans.
And then the social services guy shows up, and he's like, "Hey, we're friends. I know a place to send you. Don't worry."
Yeah, and he calls up the place.
He calls up fucking
Shady Palms Clinic.
He calls up fucking Death Nurse, and he's like, "Hey, I got someone for you. Can you take her in?"
She's kind of erratic, and she's like, "Oh, I love challenges," and he drops her off.
And she comes in
with a bag. She's a drunkard. She's a wino.
She has jugs of wine.
She's a gigantic paper bag.
Because she drinks jugs of wine.
And the Death Nurse is like, "Give me the bag." And
she's like, "Don't try and take my bag."
And she tries to take the bag, and they fight. And she takes out a knife. The wino.
She has a chases the fucking Death Nurse around the living room while she calls for her fucking doctor brother.
Her brother who's asleep.
And he's still asleep, and so then she's like, "I'm not going to take your bag. I don't want your bag. Together. Let's have a drink. I have some sherry in the kitchen."
Like, okay. She sits on...
Now, keep in mind, this alcoholic homeless woman, is the same woman that played the alcoholic...
in the first movie.
Love affair from the first movie.
Of the brother, yeah. So she's also a drunkard in this movie, too.
Yeah, so because she's a one-trick pony. Okay, she's all she knows how to play.
She's the director's wife.
She knows exactly how to play a drunk person. So the fucking Death Nurse gets her the fucking sherry with a knife behind her back and stabs her in the stupidest way
and possibly the worst death scene I've ever seen in my life.
Because the knife doesn't even connect with the body.
They don't even try.
They don't try at all.
They don't try anything, and they just spray some water on her stomach to make it look like she's bleeding.
And then
she takes her to the basement.
But then she wakes up.
And she sees the stock footage of rats in the basement.
She's like, "Get away, rat. Get away, rat."
And then she goes back upstairs.
She can't be bothered that she just got stabbed 1 billion times.
And she tries stabbing the brother.
The brother. Well, she does stab the brother once in the back.
And then Death Nurse shows up with a fucking mallet.
A cleaver.
And she kills her with... She kills her real good.
Kills her real dead with the cleaver.
And then
she kills her all kind of dead with the cleaver.
She mends...
And she just fucking mends the fucking guy's back, the brother's back.
And then he's bedridden for the whole movie.
Fucking blood. And I get it. I would check out too. I'd be like, you know what? I don't want to fucking be in this movie.
He barely...
Just literally film a scene of me looking away and then looking dejected and then just play that over and over again until the movie's over.
We get the same shot of him looking one way and then looking straight At least 5 times.
He just becomes mute for the rest of the movie. He doesn't talk until the very end of the movie.
Yeah, the rest of the movie, he's bedridden. Death Nurse just goes through his room and complains about things, and he just does the same. Look at Death Nurse. Look away.
Dejected.
Look at Death Nurse. And it's the same shot repeated.
So now the social services, okay, so there's a guy like doing a speech outside of a...
They said it's outside the mayor's window.
It's like City Hall. And so our social services guy has to go collect him, and he's like, oh, I know the perfect place to send you.
And they send him there, and he's like, this one's harmless.
It's like, don't worry, he just likes to make speeches.
And so he lasts like an hour. Again.
Yeah, because she gets tired of him making speeches.
Him opening the door, yelling.
And there was this like weird thing where she tells the brother that they have to retire soon because she can't do it anymore, and she can't handle like if this guy's going to be too heavy. But she kills him anyway.
Yeah, she just kills him,
and then I guess takes him down to the basement. We don't really see what she does with his body.
No, and then the old woman from the first movie.
Yep,
shows up.
I thought I was having a fucking like aneurysm or like a
mental breakdown.
Like I was like my shitty review podcast was like flashing before my eyes because it was the same fucking woman from the first one.
Well, every actor's been identical, so why not her? But they do a thing, see? Because she knocks on the door, Death Nurse opens it and sees her and freaks out and just slams the door in her face, and we're just like, excuse me?
Like, that looks mighty suspicious.
And then we have a flashback to the first movie of her killing the grandma.
Another flashback.
In the first movie.
We're not even going to mention the flashbacks of her just lying on the couch because you don't need to know. It's
because that's half the movie.
It's the exact same fucking thing that happens in the first one.
Yeah.
So, like, because we get flashbacks to fucking Criminally Insane.
Which is 13 years from prior to this.
Yeah.
Now, at this point. And we're like, what's going on with this old woman? Why now? They've already reused every other actor.
So she knocks on the door again, and it's the sister of the old woman, even though they look exactly the same.
And she's like, well, I'm looking for my sister. And Death Nurse is like, oh, well, we released her.
Well, because this is the continuity, right? Because she's like, we released her 3 days ago. And so the sister's like, well, that's weird, but okay.
I haven't heard anything.
And then she goes and files a missing persons report.
She goes to the cops, says another actor who's repeated. And then she goes back to investigate on her own, I guess.
Well, she waits until Death Nurse is watering the
bushes outside of the house.
And she sneaks into the house and goes downstairs and sees herself dead in the basement.
A shot that is repeated from the beginning of the movie.
And she screams, and Death Nurse is waiting for her and stabs her and then puts her downstairs.
Puts her in the basement.
Fucking Christ, dude. This movie is so fucking bad.
And then the fucking detective.
So he's like, oh my God. Dude, I fucking hate this. When this detective shows up, it's the stupidest fucking scene.
You mean the ending of the movie?
Yeah. It's like my brain broke.
Detective shows up. And is
because he calls her, right?
Yeah.
And
he calls her earlier saying like...
He's like, there filed a missing persons report. Are you this nurse? Like...
I'll be over there
tomorrow.
Did
you have this patient? I'm going to come check tomorrow.
She goes, tells the fucking brother who's mute and bedridden.
He just looks at her, looks down, and that's it. Because he's fucking mute.
Nothing happens.
And so
it's pointless.
The detective shows up, knocks on the door, and like the
we get the scene of her. They got to clean up, right? Because the detective's coming.
I swear to God, this is a fuck up.
I don't give a I don't. It's so stupid, it doesn't matter. Okay? It's beyond stupid. She goes to the basement and has a little fucking container, and they just use
lime on it,
and they use like one of those fucking like instant
label makers,
instant label makers,
lime,
and it says lime.
I guarantee they meant lye,
but she's pouring like,
but it's powder.
It's
lye.
So
lye, LYE.
No, she's pouring powder made of lime.
It's not lime. It's lye.
There will be no tequila tonight.
You fucking fucks. It's lye.
No, it's lime. God damn it. Are you saying our filmmaker's an idiot?
Yes.
How dare?
Yes, I am. Fuck Nick.
So she
pours lime citrus all over the fucking
to get rid of the rats.
And the rat. And then the detective shows up.
And he's like, "Hey,
I have a warrant to search your home because there's rats outside. They escaped your garage,
and they brought particles of human flesh on the lawn."
Oh my fucking god!
This would have been lovely to see in our
don't see any of this shit.
Sack of shit
We
movie.
don't see any of that shit.
And then he tells her that, and she just looks dejected and goes and sits on the couch.
And then our brother finally decides to start talking.
I predicted this ending, by the way.
Yeah, because he just calls her name.
He just says, Edith.
Edith.
And then it cuts back to her looking and
She's
depressed on the couch.
rubbing her hands together.
And then
Edith.
the detective looks confused, walks in, and starts walking off somewhere. And then she looks confused, and then she looks depressed. Brother says Edith. She looks depressed. And movie.
You see how that took us like less than 20 minutes to describe?
I predicted that. I was like, is this going to end with the detective showing up and her looking depressed on the couch? And guess what?
It did.
Freaking
just like the first fucking movie.
You know what else? Let's talk family. Okay, let's talk family, Will.
For Nick, Phillips? But it says Phillips, but it's Millard.
He used a fake name for this movie.
I'd be embarrassed too.
There's also in the credits, it says makeup by Gigi. Okay.
Yes.
And
or Gogi or something like that.
I know from looking at certain things.
Is it a
Gigi
Millard?
Is a Millard.
Okay.
It is his mother.
Okay. Oh.
Who is in the film?
Oh, his mom.
She's also one of the producers.
Is she the old woman?
She is the old woman.
Oh.
And his wife is also in both of the Death Nurses. She is the wino.
No.
So I'm pretty sure he just puts all of his friends in these movies. Okay?
Oh yeah.
Now, more fun factoids for you, Will.
No fuck.
So I think we discussed this on a episode on when we first watched Criminally Insane, 50 billion years ago.
Yeah.
And our introduction to this auteur, he dabbled in certain genre films.
Pornos.
You could say that.
Well, I am gonna say that.
Well, they have names like the Slut and like the erotic Mr.
Is he the one we looked at and he has like a fuckload of pornos that he's
Fire in Her Bed, like shit like that, right? And then he decided to make I'm using air quotes real movies, okay?
Yeah. Like Criminally Insane.
Yes.
At least Criminally Insane was original.
Criminally Insane was original, and I remember it being okay.
It was okay. It wasn't terrible.
But
we liked what was the next one?
No, we did not like the next one. We hated the next one.
Oh, we hated that. Right.
Because then he made a vampire movie, Satan's Black Wedding, which we thought was boring. And then I guess his brain just fried, and he spent the remainder of his career making garbage like this and reusing footage from Criminally Insane.
Yeah.
The one film
he actually did okay with.
And then he kept making garbage and garbage and garbage. And he has 70 some credits to his name on IMDb. But his mother, we went full circle. Well,
okay.
In a way.
Please do not tell me she was in any pornos or anything. Please, just I'm gonna temper my reaction because I don't know what you're gonna say.
I have to do it to him.
For the love of God, say she was not in any of his pornos. Because holy shit, I cannot handle that. I can't handle that. I cannot handle that. I don't know what you're gonna say, but I can't handle that.
Oh, Will.
No.
Poetry. Okay? It rhymes, right? So, our man's Nick Millard started in the pornos.
Okay, all right.
And Francis Millard ended in the pornos. I found out that I think he was her agent or manager, so to speak.
Oh my God.
And she ended her illustrious life at the, I mean, she was up there in age, as we saw in Death Nurse. Well, some like a whole ass decade after Death Nurse.
Are you telling? Okay, so wait. Okay, so
what's your problem?
You're telling me that this man filmed his
No,
mother.
he didn't make them, but he was her manager, I think, like, or agent or something.
Can you imagine
helped
being
her.
your mother's porn producer? What
At
the
the age
actual
of, like, 80.
fuck?
Hey, listen. Will 92 and still banging. And she went by the name Great Granny Gigi. That's how I found out the makeup thing. Because I was looking at this and I was like, oh, Gigi.
Great Granny Gigi?
Gigi.
Who? What?
Granny takes a tinkle.
What psychopath is their mom's porn producer? What the actual fuck? This is disgusting. Stop. Just stop it.
She was like 85. Well,
That is appalling. I would fucking never. Are you kidding me?
poetry.
No.
Poetry.
No.
It's poetry in reverse.
That's disgusting. That's
poetry
horrible.
in reverse, Will. Because see, he started as a youngin in the pornos. Okay?
Please
And
stop.
she
Please stop this train of thought.
ended in the oldens.
I guess you could say she finished in the old.
In the oldens, in the pornos. Poetry. The only one that did not, unfortunately,
Did his
go in.
wife?
No.
Oh, damn.
But I'm sure
It's not all in the family.
I'm sure that
then.
conversation was had.
Porno's not all in the family then.
I guarantee you that was a conversation that was had at some point
Probably.
in the Millard household.
So he's not in the movie though.
No,
Okay. He didn't have his own
no,
credit.
he's not acting.
Probably for the best.
But it's all of his friends.
And his mom.
Yeah,
That'd
his
be why.
wife.
Please do not tell me he has a directing credit for one of his mom's pornos.
No, he never.
Thank Christ. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Oh God, that is fucking awful.
I'm sure
That
some
makes me want to
deranged.
vomit.
I'm sure some deranged psychopath out there has crossed that Rubicon, but
We haven't experienced that yet.
the only fucking deranged garbage this man's done is made these two garbage films. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention.
Well, did you notice how it took us less than 20 minutes to get through the movie? Because that's literally the entirety of the content.
I forgot to mention that this is, in a way, one of you willed this into existence.
Yeah, there was someone who mentioned Death Nurse 2.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have skipped this one because the first one was absolute irredeemable garbage filth.
Yeah.
And when we did our review, one of you lovely gentlemen, one of you esteemed colleagues of ours, commented
Thank you.
in all caps, Death Nurse 2!
Death Nurse 2.
So I took that personally as a request. So here you go. I hope you are happy.
I don't.
I hope those little facts of life that I gave you also made you happy. Because,
Like, this is like... Can you imagine... Okay, so, like... Both these movies put together...
is less than an hour.
Less than an hour if you take out all the flashbacks. Even together is still just a feature-length movie.
It's less than a feature length.
Well, no, I mean, like, separately, right? But
Yeah.
if you slammed them together, like it's supposed to be
It's
like
50.
one movie, it's an hour and 50 minutes.
Oh, you mean with the
with
flashbacks?
everything in it. With
Oh,
everything
God.
in it. It's like, it's still just like a 2-hour movie.
Well, here's the other...
and I cannot even imagine watching
Here's
it.
the other joke is the flashbacks, the scenes of her napping on the couch while we get footage of Criminally Insane.
Yeah.
It's the same flashbacks.
Well, he really loved that death scene of her hacking up the people with the cleaver.
We get that one. There's the footage of like a cemetery that we are subjected to that footage 3 times, and they deep fry it.
Subjected
and
is the right word.
this whole movie.
Yeah.
It's the same flashbacks. There's the one of her like beating up a mannequin. There's one of her like putting on a dress and walking down the stairs. It's all there. We saw it in Death Nurse. I mean, we saw it in Criminally Insane, for fuck's sake.
Oh my god.
And it just keeps going.
I have a fear that we're not done with this director.
We probably are, unless someone really wants to make a request, but
don't do that.
They already did.
I know.
What do you think this is for?
Let's just hope that same person. Oh god, I don't even want to will this into existence, but now that I'm saying it, it's probably going to will it into existence.
We're not watching a porno on this podcast.
No.
If you want to go...
No, not porno. No, we're not. No, that's not this podcast. We're not like fucking like pillow talk or anything like that. We're fucking like... Okay, we're not that podcast. What I'm saying is I'm willing to, like, if like that same person that was like Death Nurse 2 is like Criminally Insane 2.
Make a formal request at the office, okay? That's gonna go. That any further requests will go added to the list as they should be, and yeah, because otherwise
you just got lucky with this one.
Well, he has movies after this, but they are so obscure that good luck. I mean, bro, they don't even have posters.
Like, it's giving me a struggle even stretching this episode to like 45 minutes at this point. There's just nothing here. He's not even worth talking about. He has fucking...
I love that the music is identical.
Music is identical. Cinematography, identical.
It's shot... It's
scenery, identical.
Same house.
Characters,
shot on scenery.
Identical. Everything. It's just fucking Death Nurse, the continuation.
It's the same movie.
But it's the same fucking movie. Everything happens exactly the same.
Yep.
It's exactly the fucking same as the first movie.
And somehow it manages to be even worse.
I don't understand. But
pretty impressive.
Yeah, that is impressive. I don't fucking understand how he did that.
Because Death Nurse 1...
That is a feat.
Death Nurse 1 was a 1 out of 10. And this is also 1 out of 10. Except that if there was a scale of 1 out of 10s, it would be on an even lower one. Which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Because
if we could do 0, I would do 0. Shitty to Pretty is 1. It's a 1 out of 10. It's a fucking... It's just bullshit. It's just fucking bullshit.
Like, a good chunk... Again, half of this movie is flashbacks.
To another movie.
An unrelated movie.
It has nothing to do because, like, Ethel is not Edith.
But they both...
They're not the same person.
Their names start with an E.
I have a theory that he was trying to, like, be like, maybe that's her thinking, like, her past. But it's like, bro, we know what you were doing. You didn't have anything to put in those dream sequences, so you just put your own other fucking stupid movie in there.
Yeah, because you got the rights to it.
Because you fucking have the rights to it, so you're just like, fuck it. It's the same actress. Let's just fucking do it.
And yeah, the same actress, obviously.
Yeah, so let's just fucking do it. But it's like, people who have watched that movie know that it's not the same movie.
I have the actress available for a weekend, and there you go.
He had his mom available all the time for the other movies. She was 90 and still doing it.
His mom, his wife, all of his friends, they're in every movie.
Yeah.
I mean, might as well be.
I'm certain if we go back and watch Crazy Fat Ethel, that...
His mom was in that.
Yeah.
She wasn't physically in that, but she was apparently, she was a voice on the phone.
Yeah.
So...
I guarantee if we watched it again, I'm not going back and watching it.
No, I'm
Fuck
not.
that shit.
No.
Fuck that shit. I guarantee there would be the same actors in it. Not the same location, though.
Well, that was more of a real movie. This is just fascinating because it's deeply fascinating just watching someone go from like, trying to make a movie to just nothing.
Yeah.
To just cheap, lazy garbage.
Yeah.
No effort. That's
exactly what we got.
No effort at all.
Yeah.
And that's the real shame. Because even like a bad movie, you can still, I don't know, get something out of it.
Yeah, usually.
Like, something.
There's some entertainment, but this one, nothing. There's just nothing here. We're at 30 minutes of recording and I'm already done talking about it.
Like, we thought American Revenge was bad.
Yeah.
But at least that was entertaining.
Like, I will be shocked. I'm saying this right now. We just started 88, right?
There's not gonna.
I will be shocked if there's anything worse than this.
There won't be. I guarantee it. It's impossible.
Like, we're at 30 minutes, and I've already run out of things to say about it because it's that just throwaway of a movie. Just don't watch it. You want to waste an hour? Just go do something else. I guarantee it's going to be more entertaining.
Yeah. My suggestion was take both of your hands and just, like, squeeze your head really hard. Mm-hmm. Just squeeze it really hard for 50 minutes.
If you need a distraction in this, like, crazy world right now, don't watch this. Just don't. Don't watch this. It's not the right movie to watch.
Yeah, you need something a little more...
You need something more, like, entertaining.
Well, something that actually makes you, I don't know, feel...
Something that makes you feel joy, and this one does not make you feel anything.
Because a good chunk of this, you're just watching and being like, what am I supposed to do?
You feel like the mute guy after a while, just, like, looking at her, then looking down.
Looking dejected.
Looking dejected and down.
As you lay in, withering away.
I have nothing else to say. This is like one of the shortest reviews we've done.
That's it. I think that's it.
Yeah. For they mostly come out at night. This has been one of our shortest episodes to date. Like 32 minutes long.
That's it.
This has been Will.
This has been Alex.
We'll talk to y'all later.
Bye.
Bye. Fuck it. Bye.
Jesus.